Welcome back to another quick review. I know I've kind of outdone myself with this thumbnail. Today, we are talking about Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Um, this is a game I finished about a week ago now, or something like that. Um, Game's really freaking good. Game is like a 9 out of 10. I'll start there. You start with my overall score, right? Game's like a 9 out of 10. I love it. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. The story, I've heard a lot of complaints online of like the story is not as good as one. I don't really see it. I think I enjoyed a lot of the story beats. That kind of echoes a decent amount of Spider-Man media that we've seen in the past, a decent amount. I love seeing Peter become more and more of a jerk of being affected by the symbiote as time goes on. Um, that's all really, really cool. Um, and then I also love, one thing I also love is Harry, Miles, and MJ's reaction to all that. Their reaction to the entire thing, plus, Craven kind of switching up on Peter and be like, I want you now, during his hunt because of the symbiote saving Peter's life was so cool. I loved it so much. Whole and it just adds a new level to Peter Parker as a character that we hadn't really gotten. We've seen before, but haven't really seen before. Peter kind of more so after losing the symbiote, more so dealing with his actions and dealing with the fallout, and having to try and amend, like trying to amend his friendships or relationships, in which ends up leading into the final act of the game with this giant monster over here, right? Um, and so let me also talk about that elephant in the room, Venom. Venom's really cool. You don't really see him until like the last 10-20% of the game, which is all right. I think it's a really good build up. But he's really good, and like throughout the game, it had me like thinking like they never directly confirmed that it was Harry, but throughout the entire game, they had me thinking like, oh, who's going to be Venom? And like, there's so many different like points where it's like, oh, you could be Venom, you could be Venom, you could be Venom. Like it's really cool. And when it eventually is Harry, and you understand why this happened, it means so much more. Um, as another thing, gameplay is strongly improved. Um, it's just a lot. The wet wheel's gone. Like the wheel with all the gadget wheels is all gone. That's great. Makes things more streamlined. I love the abilities in this game. New abilities, and I think the suit tech and abilities are a good, decent, as well as the skill tree and stuff. But it's a good, decent substitute for suit powers. I don't think it's absolutely perfect. I do not. I don't think it's absolutely perfect, but it's still really, really good. Right. And then, traversal is so much better. It's one of those things where it's like, I just don't see myself going back to the first two games ever again because of how good traversal is in this game. Like the web wings and then the freaking wind tunnels and, being able to surf and the loop to loops and, of course, air dash and the jumping in the air as well. Um, it in slingshot it's so like there's so much more variety to what you can do with traversal in this game, and it's something that I absolutely love, and I don't think I could ever like go back to the other two games ever again because of this stuff. Another thing, I want to touch up on two things. I'll touch up on two more positives before I kind of get into a bit of negatives, right? First of all, I love the setup that they do throughout the game for like a possible next game or DLC or even spin-offs, right? So you get Wraith, and we're going into spoiler territory, right? You have Wraith's missions, the Flame missions, which at the end gives you like a Carnage tease, right? And then end of the game, you end up with like a Doc Ock and Green Goblin kind of tease, team up kind of thing. And then at the very end of the game, you see Cindy Moon, which is, if you don't know who is Silk, which is so cool, and I'm so excited. Plus, the whole Daredevil thing is very interesting. But like, it's the fact that it's not Gwen Stacy, the first female Spider person in this universe, but it's actually Silk. I think it's really cool because I think Silk is, for me at least, in my opinion, from the comics that I have read, overall is a better character in my opinion. Yeah, it's just me. And then MJ missions. MJ missions are really good, stupidly good, to the point where it's like Resident Evil combined with Last of Us. They're so much better. They're so much better than compared to the first game. Like the first games were like a drag. They were not fun to get through. In this game, you were like, oh, it's time. Like, we're gonna freaking destroy us, MJ. It's like MJ has like multiple missions that just kind of turns into Resident Evil, and it's so good. And she's so OP. It's so fun. And I really enjoyed those missions a lot. Let me get into my negatives. I think my real con, my like big con with this game, other than sometimes things feeling a bit confusing, plus a bit of like performance bugs. I ran into this glitch where I got galvanized for the first time and I couldn't use it. I couldn't get past the tutorial without reloading my checkpoint like twice. They fixed that recently, but there's some glitches, performance bugs, and not performance bugs, but like bugs and stuff throughout the game and whatnot. I think my biggest complaint is balance. And what I mean by balance is this is more a Peter story than a Miles story, for sure, right? Miles is kind of like a catalyst. Like Miles is just, used to show what Peter has become. Because it's like 75% of the main missions are Peter and 25% of them are Miles, right? Miles has more side missions and stuff, and side stuff, but most of the main stuff is Peter. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. In a game that's been advertised as like these two characters like finally teaming up, you can play as both of them in this game, and you can do all this stuff with both of them for it to be 75% Peter during the main story is a very interesting choice. And I hope that they eventually do Spider-Man 3 and they have you play as a third Spider person, which once again will more likely to not be Silk. Then I hope they balance that out a bit better. That's like my real complaint. Other positives, I have two other positives I just thought up on the fly. Music is significantly better. Music has improved, and boss battles are absolutely insane. Every single boss battle, like big boss battle in this game, is so much fun. They're very different from each other. I think it's really cool. Like I said, at the beginning of the video, overall, Spider-Man 2 is like a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 game. If it weren't for the balance issues, it'd be a 10 out of 10. But because of that, I think it's like 9.5 out of 10 game. I really enjoyed myself. I didn't expect to enjoy myself as much as I did. I knew I would, but I didn't think this would be my second favorite game of the year behind Final Fantasy 16. I really didn't. I thought it would be like fourth or fifth or something like that, right? But yeah, thank you for watching. Had a lot of fun with this game. Can't wait for the DLC to come out. I will see you next time.